Welcome to Muscatine Viewpoint, where we present local news topics from the perspectives of our community leaders and citizens. We want you to know that the opinions expressed here are not the opinions of Muscatine Power and Water or Muscatine Community College. Today, we have the pleasure of interviewing Brad Bark, who's running for mayor of Muscatine. So, good afternoon, Brad.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mary.
You're welcome. So, Brad, you are not necessarily from Muscatine, so kind of tell us about your background and how you came here and maybe a little bit about your family.
Yeah, I'm not from Muscatine at all. I was born in St. Joseph, Missouri. And from there, we actually moved to Iowa when I was a little kid. And then from there, moved up to Wisconsin. And Prairie du Chien, Wisconsin is where I basically tell people I'm from. That's where I grew up, went to school. Growing up there, my dad was my high school principal and varsity football coach, which was just, pretty crazy at that time. But totally just loved that opportunity. And then my mom was a nurse at a local company called 3M. And from there, graduated high school and decided, what do I want to be when I grow up, right?
Yeah.
And I actually went to St. Cloud State my first year and was going to be a tech ed teacher. So wood shop teacher, do the wood shop teaching and also football coaching, kind of follow behind my dad's footsteps with, education.
Sure.
And also coaching football. But then after about a year there, and I St. Cloud State played college football up there, decided I'm going to go back to Wisconsin, closer to home, and went to UW-Platteville. And from there, did 4 years of classes and graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Biology.
Okay.
And played college football there too, and was in several organizations up there, several clubs as well. And graduated in 2007. And my wife, at that point, already moved down to Muscatine.
Okay.
And she moved into Muscatine knowing that I was going to be going to Palmer College of Chiropractic because I went into the health route at that point.
Okay.
So she found a job here in Muscatine late 2005, and there she is right there. And her name's Candace, and is an environmental engineer at Stanley Consultants. So at that point, I moved down to Muscatine in 2007 after I graduated, and my wife and I got married, moved into the Steamboat Apartments right there on 61. They're still there today.
Yeah.
Wonderful places. And got married, and then from there drove back and forth to Davenport every day for almost 3.5 years, every day, trimesters. So there was no time off, maybe about a couple weeks between trimesters. And at that point, it was a lot of driving. It was a lot of driving, suns in your eyes to school and back from school. But when the time came to kind of figure out what am I going to do, after graduation, it was either A, do I join someone in a chiropractic clinic, or do I just create my own? And just, being ambitious, and, I decided I'm going to start up my own at that point. So we traveled to the East Coast, we traveled to the West Coast, went to Chicago. None of the places really were our cup of tea at all. Being from a small town, Prairie du Chien, and, coming into Muscatine, it's, a little bit larger. So, what, why not Muscatine? So at that point, we started traveling up and down 2nd Street and found the old Planets Wild.
Oh, okay.
Remember that?
Yeah.
The old Planets Wild. And
was it wild then? Did it look like that?
It looked kind of wild in there, but we were able to remodel it, with Tom Meeker helping out with that.
Sure.
And I was able to open up May 2nd, 2011, and from there opened up.
So like
Bark
10 years
Chiropractic.
ago.
10.5 years ago almost.
Yeah.
And a lot of work goes into that, but was able to open it up, and have been open up for 10.5 years, and recently shifted to another building, and we had kids. So I've got 3 kids also. I have Cora, my oldest. She is 8 years old. I have David, who is 6 years old, and then also Ruben, and there they are. And look at that, Ruben is in. They're all 3 in little scrubs. My staff made some scrubs for them, and Ruben's 3, and definitely they totally make my day every single day, and they've been by our side as well. But it's just nice to have those 3 around the house. But and they're kind of following what we do. And
Sure.
we also we attend church locally as well.
Okay.
It's definitely a big part of our life. Just having our family, trying to get our roots in there as well. And then, I'm also a business owner.
Sure.
I mentioned Bart Chiropractic.
Yes.
And then, and that's obviously a chiropractic clinic. And also,
And you said you just moved.
yes. And then we recently, June 1st of 2020, so
Oh, a year ago.
a year ago, we moved into the Chaz Mall building, which is on 2nd and Pine.
Right.
So, and from there, but basically the point above is another business that I own, which is just the two buildings right there. So renovated the buildings and, yeah.
Cool. So it sounds like you've been busy in the last 10 years.
I have been
So
busy.
you want to add to your plate, I guess, the mayor of Muscatine. So
Yeah.
why are you running for mayor? I mean, it sounds like you're busy.
Yeah, no, definitely busy, but there's opportunity, I think, to enhance on what is happening already. What's happening right now, is good, but I think there's always room for improvement as well. So, I just want to help be an ambassador for Muscatine and help Muscatine put its best foot forward. I want to work together with, the city council. I want to work together. I want to work with the city administrator, try to work with the different department heads in the city structure and just try to, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? How can we get those strengths to make Muscatine, even better? I love the teamwork aspect of it. I've mentioned this a couple times, but, again, going back to the strengths, just trying to work together as a team for the common good of Muscatine specifically. And,
So if you're talking about teamwork, you used an analogy a lot of a football team.
Yeah.
So layer that out into the city. What does that look like? A football team that's the city.
Yeah, no,
What does
great.
that mean?
Yeah, so my analogy that I typically use is, everybody thinks that, the quarterback and the running back or the head coach is the big item, right? And that's not the case. You have to focus on, the cheerleaders. You have to focus on the fans, the water boy. Everybody makes that team successful. Same with the city. We have to focus on, very specifically, all of these facets. You have corporations, you have small businesses, you have the city employees, you have the citizens of Muscatine. You got to listen to them, take inventory, and try to find out how we can make that happen with, concerns and ideas that they may have. So basically, everybody is equally important in Muscatine, and trying to work together with them, not against them, but with them, is the key part. And
I think part of what you said a minute ago was that you see the mayor as the ambassador.
Absolutely.
So you're actually, it sounds like trying to sell all those people. I mean, you're trying to make everything better for all of those
right,
people.
yeah. And it's not just about the mayor. It's not just about, the city council. It's about all of us literally throwing our wood into the fire to make that fire burn even brighter. That's what it's all about.
That's a good analogy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You got more, or shall we move on?
Well, I was going to say, another part of why I want to be mayor is just my role in the past. I had to recently step away from healthcare because of some surgery. But, what I did on a day-to-day basis is, patient comes in, they have a problem, right? They have a problem. They come in, we go through a very detailed report on what is going on. Not just the problem of that day, but what are some problems in the past. Okay, assess it, go through a bunch of tests, like dig into the actual patient, right? From there, formulating a plan of what we're going to do, and this, a nice plan, it could be, a good week, it could be a month, it could be, a year plan, right? Coming up with a plan specifically for that person. Not a cookie cutter plan where everybody gets the same thing. You have to be very specific for that patient. Some people need a little bit extra attention because of some chronic issues that are going on because of some things that happened in the past. So trying to formulate, and how do I bring that into, this role?
Right.
Is there's going to be things that come up. There's going to be projects that have been on the back burner for a long time that if we're going to try to attract people to come into Muscatine, we need to basically put our best foot forward, just keep on pushing through and find the right people to make that happen. And they're doing a lot of great things in Muscatine right now. Don't get me wrong, but I think there's always, like I said, always room for improvement to enhance on that
Sure.
as well.
Sure. So you see future growth.
Absolutely.
Okay, so talk about that growth, but what would you say are some potential issues that are facing the mayor's office?
So far, what I've listened to already, it's housing.
You hear housing out of everybody's mouth. Yeah.
Absolutely. Housing is extremely important. And, since walking away from chiropractic, I'm now working with the Community Foundation of Muscatine, Greater Muscatine, as a community initiative manager.
I see.
And which is a really cool role because I still get to help people out. So in this role, housing is a main focus.
Okay.
It's one of the main focuses. And with the housing focus, there's been studies done that 11,000 people drive into Muscatine every day to work.
Okay.
Every day to work. And around 8,000 people leave Muscatine to go to work. So if we could just attract some of these, individuals, if we can get like 2,500 of these 11,000 people coming into Muscatine, just 2,500, usually their spouse and or a kid will be with them, so we can
Sure.
take that and increase the growth as well.
Right.
And if you increase the growth, you're going to increase the economic development portion as well.
Okay.
But how do we do that? We have to be creative. We have to be innovative in order for that to happen. Could it be just, typical stick building houses? Or I think there's other innovative ways that we're all kind of, there's many innovative ways to build houses, right? To attract
sure.
people. And different ideas, different venues that could, be built, and working with the people that already have had these ideas, but to actually bring them and make them happen is the key.
So housing you see as one of the issues. Are there other issues that are on your plate?
So I would definitely say the economic development portion as well. We do have some empty storefronts downtown.
Yeah, a few.
A few. But I'll tell you what, if you go look at, I believe it's Google Maps, in 2013, I believe, is one of the last times I did Google Maps.
Okay.
You will see going down 2nd Street, and this, I opened up in 2011, keep in mind, but in 2013, 2012, it was ghost town downtown. And I knew that because I could see some people like I was actually open at that time as well. But total ghost town, no parking. There's nobody actually parking at all. The parking lots were empty, nobody walking. Now, just walking down 2nd Street, it is just booming, but there's still open spots.
Sure. Yeah.
So, working with the Chamber of Commerce, working with the city, working with the county, working with people that are innovative, listening to citizens, what would you like to see in Muscatine? Maybe a small mom and pop shop downtown, and then seeking those people out, those individuals, and, having them just set up shop there and, what do you need? So,
Well, I often talk, I don't know that I have to you, but that I want to open a bakery. So it's like I don't really want to open the bakery myself, but I would love to know someone that
Sure.
does.
Right.
And hopefully that would be something that we want. But it sounds like you're going to do a study, or would do a study to find out, or at least ask the citizens, what would bring you downtown. And it's radically different after 5:00 p.m. than it is even during the day, because people are downtown eating. You cannot find a parking place probably after 5.
Right.
So
a men's clothing line has been like the item that people have been talking about. They want a men's clothing line downtown. I just thought that was pretty interesting as well.
Well, I'd say that's true, because
Yeah.
you get to go to Menards probably and Walmart
Yeah.
and buy them right now. What would be what you would say your qualifications are around housing or economic development, or just the ambassadorship of being the mayor? What strengths do you bring? What are your qualifications?
So I would say number one, I'm a small business owner of 2 businesses, and they were all built from scratch. They were not handed to me at all. They were all like literally, hey, can I please have a loan, bank, and coming up with a business plan for that. So qualifications there, being creative to try to move forward with ideas, and that's where I think one of my qualifications is I finished 2 buildings, and I believe there's a picture, unless you guys already had it already, but there's a picture of 2 of my buildings. You have the Medical Arts Building, and then also the Chaz Mall Building. I mean, those were, there they are. Those were,
Medical arts being the top
the Medical
one.
Arts Building being the top one, the Chaz Mall grocery store being the bottom one, but
On separate blocks. Like
on separate blocks.
2 blocks apart, maybe.
About 3 blocks apart, but trying to come up with a vision, getting the right people in place to make that happen, trying to organize that is one of my strengths as well. So qualifications there.
And do you have, I know that you have like offices above in the Medical Arts Building.
Yes.
And so are there apartments or
Yeah.
offices or?
Yeah. So in that top picture, basically, I have actually several businesses on that main floor, and then the second floor, basically the second floor, we have a law office there right now, and they take the whole floor. And then above that, we have an insurance retirement group that takes that whole part. And then on the top floor, we have 2 apartment/condos.
Okay.
Really, really nice apartments, and it feels good.
They were refinished when?
They're brand new, refinished. Everything in that building, plumbing and electrical, the interior walls, all brand new.
So while you were being a chiropractor, you were also orchestrating the rebuild or the rehabbing of those facilities, working with electricians and plumbers and city codes and people. So, yeah.
You have to work with everybody to make it happen, because if the city codes doesn't drive with that, obviously you can't get the project done.
Right.
So yeah, on top of doing the chiropractic
And being a dad.
So, and then I'd have to say that the other qualification is just being a healthcare professional. And there's a picture on there, there's a picture looking down at the chiropractic clinic, and organizing, seeing many patients a week, trying to organize everybody's very specific treatment plan, adjusting them, finding time to do the chart notes, organizing staff, and in this my current clinic that we have right now, we also have a mental health counselor, we have a nurse practitioner of psychiatric care, we have a massage therapist and a reflexologist, and then there's there's 3 chiropractors there now, with me having to step away for right now. But organizing that for the best of the community, the diversified teamwork approach in healthcare is absolutely key, as I've told people, and I'm not just chiropractic fixes everything at all, and I've always been about that. Chiropractic does not fix all, but if chiropractic, medicine, physical therapy, massage therapy, you name it, if we all work together for that specific patient, that is the best case scenario. And we've seen it time and time again when you actually give some time, listen to people about their concerns.
Cool.
And and just being innovative and creative. I was able to have several events as well, and I believe Chad here was able to help me. There he is. He was able to help with a couple of them. But so back in 2000. So we'll back up to 2019. This is perfect. 2019, we had a really large concert called Rockin' on Sycamore. We did that for 2 years.
Oh.
The whole purpose of this was to have a good time, get people out of their castles, if you will, just come downtown. The first night, basically, we had a Christian rock night. It was absolutely amazing. I would say probably close to a little over 1,000 people there at that point, and this is on Sycamore Street. And then to the right was the classic rock night. This is where I'm sure everybody has heard of Lefty and the Spinners. This is the time where they came back and kind of did their, hey, we're back again. And I mean, there was many people at that, but the whole idea, and the slide after this will basically be. You'll see a stage that we put up. This is everybody, working together to have a stage, and it was busy, and the whole there it is.
Yeah, there.
So it was just really nice to have that downtown. But the whole idea behind this, again, is to get people to meet each other, to socialize. Doesn't matter what where you are in life, everybody's coming together to throw their guard down and they get to have some fun. But then there was also a thing where we wanted to raise money for Shop with a Cop.
Oh, okay.
And so we worked with the local law enforcement, the Muscatine Police Department, and they were able to help us, with these concerts, help us raise money for Shop with a Cop,
And that was recently.
which is right there. So it's really nice handing that check to them, saying, and just saying, hey, thank you so much, and to give opportunities to these kids that might not have the opportunity
Sure.
for Christmas presents. And these guys do such an amazing job, and that's Brian Chick there to the right. He helped us with everything, and you have Whitney Pena, Captain Keys, and you have Jeff DeVries right there in the green. So wonderful gang.
Yeah, a lot of city employees there too. So, what do you want the public to know about you, Brad Bark, as we're starting to wrap up here? What is it that maybe you haven't had an opportunity to really say?
Sure. Well, first of all, this is by far one of the nicest studios, just so you guys know. I thank you for hosting.
welcome.
Chad and gang, thank you guys so much. And, my big thing is that I want to, I want to be your mayor. I want to work together as a team here in Muscatine. We will put our best foot forward. We're going to work together hand in hand to make Muscatine, even better than what it is. It's really good right now, but there's always room for improvement. Always remember that. And trying to find the strengths of, the large corporations, the small businesses, the citizens, finding the strengths and how can we work together for Muscatine. Being able to show that, yeah, things can get pretty busy. Playing doctor and then also renovating buildings and fighting a flood all at the same time and being a dad.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the flood.
Yeah, so it's one of those things that yes, life does throw some punches at you. If life hands you lemons, you're gonna make some lemonade out of it, right? And that's
Right.
that's basically what I'm all about. I have my dad's hard work ethic. I have my mom's big heart, and will do whatever it takes to make Muscatine improve as well. And I really have a passion for the housing portion of it. I want to see Muscatine grow, and believe that we have so much potential here in Muscatine, Iowa. So much potential with this amazing riverfront we have right out there that we actually take for granted every single day. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful area to just sit down, have a picnic with your family, to walk, with your spouse, to, throw the ball with your dog,
Yeah.
So,
Walk
I
in
will-
the Mississippi Mist, yeah.
yeah, absolutely. But, I'm here for you guys. I want to help you be your best.
Thank you. I have one more question, and I was
course.
going to ask it earlier and
Fine.
forgot. So, you're running for mayor and you get elected, and right now you're a dad and you're a chiropractor organizer and you're working for the community foundation. So, kind of explain, how you're handling your chiropractic alongside of the community foundation and how that might mesh with being the mayor.
No, it's a great question. So yeah, obviously I'm a dad and a husband,
Yeah.
and then of course, the chiropractic role, I had to step away from.
Yeah.
So,
So
I'm
you're-
not actively adjusting anyone at all right now.
But it's still your business, so.
It's still my business, and the other 3 doctors are taking care of it. So I'm kind of hands off right now with
Got it.
that.
Okay.
Which allows me to step into the role of the community foundation, which I'll tell you what, Charlotte and the gang are just top notch there. I used to think it was all about grants, grants for, scholarships.
Sure.
So much more than that. I mean, the people they bring in to talk, like Dr. Jim Kim last week,
It's fabulous.
top-notch guy. I mean, just absolutely amazing. And then just the events that are coming in the future, just a lot of good stuff. But again, they started with, several people, and now we got a team over there at the Community Foundation, and, that's the way it's going to be. And then, yeah, as far as running for mayor, I definitely that's going to be the time to talk about everything that's being done with what I'm doing, at the Community Foundation.
So your day job is the community foundation,
Yes.
just like somebody else would go to work at Hy-Vee or Han, whatever. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, and for sure, absolutely, I'm going to be having times in City Hall. If I'm elected mayor, I'm going to have office hours, and I cannot wait to talk to everybody. If many people stop in, that'd be the better. I mean, that'd be just wonderful to talk to everybody. If there's any concerns, I really want to focus on positive things too. I want to capitalize on the positive things that are happening in Muscatine, not just the negatives.
So we just saw a sign that said vote for Brad Bark. So
course.
one last thing here. You want to give us the wind up?
Yeah, basically, if you vote for me, I will definitely do my best to push Muscatine and enhance everything that is in Muscatine right now, with working as a team, with being a small business owner, with being a healthcare, professional. We all need to work together, and we will.
Well, great. Well, Brad, it's been our pleasure to interview you today. We wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Again, what words have been said here today are not necessarily endorsed by Muscatine Community College or Muscatine Power and Water. They're from the mouths of the people speaking today. This will be rebroadcast. These programs, today's program, will be rebroadcast on Channel 9 and on YouTube. So again, Brad, do you want to say one more thing?
I was just going to say, and words are not from the Community Foundation either. This is
Oh,
strictly,
okay. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
thank you, guys.
It's our words.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks.